Welcome back, everyone. I am Sherry, and this is me now. This week, I'd like to talk about some of the vitamins that our body needs, starting with calcium. So, calcium is needed in the circulatory system. If the body is not getting enough calcium, it will draw calcium out of our bones to function the circulatory system. So you really need to make sure you get enough calcium. Now, I have the advantage of owning reptiles. I have run a reptile rescue in the past, and MBD, metabolic bone disease, is really common in reptiles because calcium is something that is their biggest requirement. Okay, out of all the vitamins, calcium is their most important requirement. Calcium is what runs their entire bodies. So when I was told how our bodies need calcium for the circulatory system and how it pulls out of the bones, right away my brain went to my reptiles. They do that too. Metabolic bone disease is when they don't get enough calcium, so their bodies pull calcium from their bones, and their bones will gelatinize. They will literally disappear. They will have, for instance, iguanas. They will lose their fingers. They will lose their toes so they can't grip things. Their jaws will expand and turn into jelly jaws because their bodies are using all the calcium from their bones to feed their organs and their circulatory system and keep their heart running. It's a survival technique that their bodies do. Our bodies do it too. Not to that extent, clearly, but my brain automatically went to this and went, wow, we do that too. So calcium is extremely important to make sure you're getting. And any of you out there with reptiles like me, please make sure your reptiles are getting tons of calcium. It is so important. Also, lots of UVB light in order for their bodies to process that calcium. We also need sunlight, okay? Our sunlight isn't to process the calcium, but it is to process vitamin D. If you protect yourself from the sun, which, probably 90% of the world does nowadays, it's pretty important. You wear sunscreen, you wear hats, you wear lots of clothing, you're protected from the sun at all times, then your body isn't getting the vitamin D from the sun. You must take supplements. You have to take vitamin D supplements to make up for the vitamin D you're not getting from the sun. I'm stubborn. I don't wear sunscreen, okay? I love the sun. I love walking in the sun. I don't care really if I get burnt. Bad example, don't follow me, okay? Use sunscreen, wear hats, protect yourselves. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who's like that. And I still take vitamin D supplements. We live in Canada, okay? Not everybody who maybe watches my channel, but anybody who lives in Canada like myself, regardless of whether you allow the sun to give you vitamin D or not, you need to take vitamin D supplements. We do not get enough sunlight here in Canada. The 3 or 4 months we get a little sunlight is not enough, okay? Take your supplements. They are really important. Calcium supplements, vitamin D, eat your cheeses and your milks and your calcium-rich vegetables and fruits, whatever you have. You need these vitamins. They're very important, okay? Another thing I'd like to talk about today, other than vitamins, I wanted to start with that because it's so important, okay? I wanted to make sure that it got said because it's not worth a whole channel. The next thing is perceived control, okay? Pacing yourself. Learning to be okay with not doing everything that you could before, okay? Maybe you can work your way up to that. I am. I'm really working my way up to a lot more. We have a giant baseball bat here in Edmonton, and my daughter and I were on one of our walks the other day, and I told her, I said, I've seen people sit on the baseball bat and spin on it. I said, I have never done that. And she made me get on. And I didn't think I was going to get up there. It's actually quite ridiculously large, and it took everything. It was like hugging a huge tree and sitting on, I guess, the nub of the baseball bat, right? And she spun me on there just one time, but something I never thought I would do, right? I just getting up there was a little tricky. She helped me to get up there. So just because you can't do everything that you maybe used to be able to do, doesn't mean you can't do fun things. Doesn't mean you can't find the joy that you had doing other things in something else. Because you can. It just takes time. Maybe it takes something silly like spinning around on a giant baseball bat to make you feel young and spry again. Take your time. Give yourself time to learn that. So, for instance, say you loved playing golf and now, playing golf is something you feel like you can't do right now. What was the thing you liked most about it? Was it the walking in the fresh air? Was it riding the golf carts? Was it visiting with people? Was it actually playing the golf game? And then once you decided what that thing was, find a way to duplicate it. Maybe you use something different. The walking part, go for lots of walks in a nice park. If it's riding the golf carts, so go ride the golf carts, but who cares? Go have fun. Maybe you have a little go-kart or something that you can build, and with your kids or grandkids, you can ride that. There's ways of duplicating things so that you can still feel in control. You can still get the joy out of life that you wanted, but you get it in a different way. Maybe you can go back to actually playing golf after you get your body more comfortable with functioning properly again. Maybe you can't, but maybe you like this new thing better. Maybe you liked playing golf and the visiting with your friends, so do mini golf instead. Mini golf's actually pretty fun, just saying. There's lots of fun courses. There's glow-in-the-dark courses. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do to make up the difference, okay? Just be open-minded and look out there to see what's all out there. The next thing would be learned optimism, okay? This one's hard because you're making sense of why me? Why did this happen to me? You know what I mean? So, and that can really weigh a person down. I know it did for me. I couldn't understand, why am I the one who's broken? I've always been active. I've always been this. I've always been that. I've always worked hard. You get on that rabbit hole run, and it's really hard to stay optimistic. Wow, this no script thing is difficult. You need to be able to validate that things that weren't hard before are maybe hard now. You need to realize that that's okay, okay? Whether you're young or old, whether you're in the middle, I'm kind of in the middle. Sometimes things that weren't hard before are hard now. I have my granddaughter, little example here, and my walking has improved crazy amounts. So for 45 minutes, I decided to walk down to my daughter's event, and my granddaughter was all excited. She ran for 45 minutes without stopping, and I had to huff on it to keep up with her. Oh my gosh. There was a time when I had 3 of them, and I could keep up with them without even thinking, without batting an eye. And by the time we got to the show, I was like, oh, how did she not stop running after, 10 or 15 minutes? 45 minutes, a full-on sprint. She's 4 years old. That's insane. I got my workout that day, I'll tell you. But I had to admit to myself that it was hard. It's things that were easy before aren't always easy now. And that's okay. You know, it's okay. You have to practice being self-encouraging. It's when something's hard, you have to remind yourself that it's okay. You have to remind yourself that, hey, you're doing good. You couldn't do this a week ago or a month ago or 6 months ago, and now you can. Practice encouraging yourself. Practice telling yourself you're doing well. Okay, that's being optimistic is super important to fixing your health. It's, oh, there's no words to how important it is, okay? Okay, exercise is a big part of it. It helps keep you positive. It helps produce endorphins. It helps get you feeling good, okay? Yes, your body aches and you're sore, but you feel good. You feel like you've accomplished something. So aerobics, 150 minutes a week, which, you know, if you split that between 7 days is, I can't do math in my head, I don't know, a few minutes a day. 15, it's divided by 7 is like 20 minutes a day. So, you know, you're walking or doing, walking on treadmill. Treadmill works, especially here in Canada. We have a lot of snow. I don't like walking in the snow and cold. Maybe you are doing just, you know, lifting your water bottles and you're doing 20 minutes a day doing your little exercises, or maybe you're doing, I don't know, anything, any kind of aerobics, anything that gets your heart running for, say, 15 to 20 minutes a day. That would cover your 150 minutes a week by far, you know. Anything that makes your heart beat faster is aerobics. So there's more things than I could possibly mention. For now, for me, it's walking. I walk every day. I'll do at least 5,000 steps a day. This last week, since I ran with Haley, I have been doing anywhere from 7 to 9K a day. And that is crazy. It works out to like 13 to 1,500 steps a day, which is pretty exciting. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The aerobics, this heavy workout, this takes care of the visceral fat that is around the organs. So, okay, women especially would know this. I guess men, they get the spare tire. Women, we get the baby belly, right, that never seems to want to go away. That's your visceral fat, and it hangs out around your organs, okay? And so it's not good for your body to have that there. 75 minutes of vigorous activity a week will help get rid of that, okay? Working the core will help get rid of that. I haven't quite got there yet. I'm still working on the walking part. Occasionally I'll do my sit-ups on my bed. I have the Pilates that I haven't quite worked into my regular schedule yet, but I'm excited about it. It felt really good. It felt like it was doing a good job. So I am going to have to put it into my everyday workout in time. I think that's all I have for you this week. I know it was a little bit of a jumble, a little bit of vitamins, a little optimism, and a little exercise. I just wanted to make sure that all these little things were getting tied together. So that was kind of the tail end of my Zoom meetings that week, and they kind of covered a lot of little bits. So I wanted to do that for you all as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you all so much. Look for me on Twitter and Facebook as well. Enjoy your weekend and your week. And I am Sherri on Me Now, signing off until next week.